If you're a founder, you know the feeling. Everyone tells you to move fast and break things, right? But here's the catch. Moving too fast can kill your company just as easily as moving too slow. It's this constant, high-stakes tightrope walk, and one wrong step can mean it's all over.
So let's just cut right to the chase and ask the big question, the one that probably keeps you up at night. Is your startup moving too fast, or is it moving too slow? It sounds so simple, but that one question is loaded.
Because getting the timing right, well, it isn't just some small detail. It's literally everything. Your answer to that question is almost always the deciding factor between building a business that lasts and becoming another statistic. But here's the good news. You don't have to fly blind. You don't have to guess. There is a proven roadmap that the most successful founders on the planet use to get this right. So let's dive in and see exactly how it works.
Okay, here it is, your 4-stage roadmap. I want you to think of this as your startup's GPS. It's designed to give you a crystal clear path, taking you from that first spark of an idea all the way to a massive, scaling company. It's all about knowing exactly where you are and what you need to do next. Everything, and I mean everything, starts here in stage 1, problem, solution, fit. This is the bedrock. Before you spend a single dime on marketing, before you even write a line of code, you have to answer this one non-negotiable question: are we solving a real, painful problem? And listen, this isn't about your gut feeling. It's about cold, hard data. You need to get out there and conduct at least 10 interviews with potential customers. And in those talks, over 70% of them need to confirm, yes, this is a problem I have. Then you test your basic solution concept and get your first 10 users to actually try out a super basic MVP. Only when you've checked these boxes have you earned the right to move on. Okay, so once you've proven the problem is real, you graduate to stage 2, product market fit. Now the game changes. The question isn't, is the problem real anymore? It becomes much, much bigger. Do customers absolutely love our product? You know, love isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. In a startup, love is a metric. You can measure it. We're talking about getting over 100 active users and seeing at least 40% of them coming back every single week. We're looking for a net promoter score over 30. But the real acid test, it's asking your users a simple question. How would you feel if you could no longer use this product? If more than 40% say they would be very disappointed, congratulations, you found magic. So, people love your product. That's fantastic. But, well, love doesn't pay the server bills. And that brings us to stage 3, business model validation. The question gets very practical very fast. Can we actually make money with this thing? At this stage, it's all about your unit economics. Your LTV to CAC ratio, that's lifetime value over customer acquisition cost, has got to be greater than 3. Put simply, for every dollar you spend to get a customer, you need to get at least $3 back over time. Your burn multiple, a measure of capital efficiency, needs to be under 2. And your gross margin should be over 60%. These numbers prove your business engine is sound. All right, once you've proven that your engine works and it's profitable, it's finally time to slam your foot on the accelerator. Welcome to stage 4, scaling. The foundation is rock solid, and now there's really only one question that matters. How do we grow, and how do we do it fast? This is where things get really exciting. We're aiming for that explosive 20 to 50% growth every single month, pushing hard for that first $1 million in annual recurring revenue. But the key here isn't just random growth. It has to be replicable. You need to have found at least one growth channel that you can pour fuel on and get predictable, amazing results. Now, that roadmap seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? But what happens if you try to jump ahead? This is so important. Moving to the next stage before you're truly ready, what we call premature scaling, is the #1 killer of startups. Let's look at why. Just picture this. You get excited and jump to stage 3 to validate your business model, but your weekly retention is only, say, 25%. You start pumping money into ads to get new customers, but they just leave. It's like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. You'll burn through all your cash and have nothing to show for it. The right way? You patiently wait until you hit that 40% retention mark. Then you spend. The exact same danger exists for jumping to stage 4 too early. Maybe your LTV to CAC ratio is only 2 to 1. You think, hey, we're profitable, so you raise a ton of money and hit the gas. But your economics are actually broken.
You're spending $1 to make 2, but when you factor in salaries, rent, everything else, you're losing money on every single customer. That's why you have to nail that 3-to-1 ratio before you even think about scaling. Look, we all know the startup journey is never, ever a straight line. Pivots are going to happen. So a really common question is, how does a big change in direction actually affect where you are on this roadmap? This is a critical distinction. Not all pivots are created equal. If you make a massive change, like you decide to target a completely different type of customer, you've essentially hit the reset button. You have to go all the way back to stage 1 and validate the problem for this new group. But a smaller change, like just tweaking your pricing, that's more of a refinement. You can probably stay right where you are. Okay, so we've got this amazing roadmap. We have stages, criteria, metrics, but let's get real. You're a founder. You're busy building a product, talking to users, trying to hire people. How on earth are you supposed to keep track of all this stuff and know with 100% confidence when to make that leap to the next stage?
Well, this is exactly why having a founder's compass is such a game changer. A platform like FounderScope is built for precisely this. It cuts through the chaos, it plugs into your data, automatically tracks all these critical metrics against your stage goals, and then gives you a clear, data-driven recommendation. But here's the most important part. It empowers you to make the final call.
And that's absolutely crucial. Because at the end of the day, metrics don't tell the entire story. The data might say you're ready, but your gut, that founder intuition that got you started in the first place, might be telling you to wait. A great tool gives you the data, but it always respects that you're the one steering the ship. Let's make this real. Check out the 12-month journey of this fictional meal planning app. They start in January. By February, they've nailed their stage 1 metrics and move on. They actually hit their product market fit goals in May, but the founder's intuition told her to wait a month to fix one little bug. They transitioned in June. That's a perfect blend of data and gut feeling. By October, their business model was validated, and now they're scaling like crazy. A clear, intentional journey. So let's just pull it all together one last time. Stage 1, nail the problem. Stage 2, get customers to love you. Stage 3, make sure the money works. And stage 4, floor it. Think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet for the entire journey. You know, when you boil it all down, it's this simple. The 4-stage framework we just walked through, that's your map. It shows you the entire territory. And a tool like FounderScope, that's your compass, telling you exactly where you are and which way to go next. So now you have the exact roadmap that the world's most successful startups use to build their companies. The only question left is, are you ready to find out which stage your startup is in right now and figure out your next winning move?